So first of all, I just wanted to apologise to the people who tried to check out a video that I uploaded yesterday only to find it was private. Something either YouTube fucked up, or maybe it was something to do with some copyrighted material that I had in the video. But anyway, I had to pull that. So I've decided to do a vlog about the topic instead. The topic was about something called the Milgram experiment. I'm sure quite a lot of people know about this, but if you don't, then please do research it, because it's just fascinating and it offers a really disturbing insight into human nature. Stanley Milgram was a psychologist in the 1960s who did an experiment to see how people would react to authority figures giving them completely unreasonable commands. So he had some volunteers, and basically he sat them down at this kind of control pad with a lever, and he got them to administer electric shocks to somebody they thought was in another room. Of course, there wasn't really a person in the other room. It was either a tape recorder or, somebody just pretending to scream in there. But Milgram had these people gradually give higher and higher electric shocks to the person in the next room. So the sounds, got louder and louder, the screams got more and more blood-curdling, until there was just silence in the room. And what Milgram found was that 2/3 of people were prepared to give lethal levels of electric shock to the person they thought was in the other room. So 2/3 of people were prepared to kill another person just because an authority figure told them to, and because they wanted to obey orders. I mean, the ramifications of this study, I don't need to spell them out for you, really shocking and disturbing. So this experiment was obviously done a few times over the years. I remember seeing it on a BBC documentary, and I also remember seeing Derren Brown include it in one of his shows. If you don't know who Derren Brown is, which maybe some people in the US don't, I thoroughly recommend you to check him out. I'll put a link to his website in the sidebar. Derren Brown is an English, I think he calls himself a psychological illusionist, and he does various tricks and scams, all based on manipulating people. Really clever stuff, so do check him out, you won't regret it. So he did it. And anyway, I'm making this video because just a couple of days ago in the news was a French TV program called The Game of Death, which used Milgram's idea. What they did was set up this game show, and the contestants in the game show, who thought they were playing to get through to the next round or something, some kind of prize to become a celebrity, and they were made to give these electric shocks to people, again, who they thought were really in the next room. And what they actually found was 82% of the contestants were prepared to administer lethal electric shocks to these people in the other room. I mean, this says, lots of things about this celebrity culture that we live in and how desperate people are to become famous. But again, it just shows how people are prepared to obey authority figures, prepared to do what they're told to do, no matter how immoral the instructions are, no matter how evil the orders are. I don't need to spell out the implications of this, really, but people ask how the New World Order could come into being, and it's quite clear from the results of Milgram's experiment and also this French game show that people will do what they're told. And if someone in authority tells people to do it, 2/3, even more, will do it. So who's to say that when it comes down to it, and this encroaching police state that we all live in, who's to say that your neighbours, when they're told to do something, they won't grass you up or come and get you? It's really scary stuff. Anyway, I think a couple of people did see the video, because Agrippa's Notebook left an interesting comment on my channel in the comments section, which I'll put up on the screen now. So an interesting comment there, and I can relate to it, because there are times when I just feel really infuriated by people who either refuse to accept the information or are just not interested in it. And sometimes when you hear like the results of the Milgram experiment, you do think, is it really worth trying to wake people up? You know, people deserve what they get if they're going to be this stupid and this obedient. But my perspective on it is, even if you're not particularly bothered about other people and you think that to a certain extent they even deserve what's coming to them, at the end of the day, the act of spreading the information and trying to wake people up and trying to make them aware of corruption and evil within government, that in itself is an act of self-preservation, because if everybody else falls victim to this global control grid, this global totalitarian police state, then we're going to fall victim to that as well, and so are our future generations. So waking people up is essentially a way to try and save ourselves. So I'd be interested to hear what other people think about that. Do you think humanity is doomed? Or rather, do you think humanity is doomed to be controlled by a small group of the elite who are very intelligent but also basically psychopathic? Is that just the natural course of things? What do you think about that? What do you think about resistance? Is it worth resisting? Is it possible to even overturn this development, to push back this seemingly natural takeover of the world by elite psychopaths? Let me know what you think. Please post a comment or make a video if you want to. Several people that I subscribe to have been trying to encourage everyone to get involved and to make their own videos, and I can only echo that really and say that, yeah, it's just a great thing to be able to express your ideas. It helps you on so many levels, helps you get your arguments straight, makes you more confident in speaking to people that you meet in real life, not just on the internet. So yeah, look forward to your feedback. Cheers.